You want to go?
No, it's you then.
It's me? Okay.
Yeah. Wait, what was it? Breaching and clearing the air. Breaching, clear.
air. I'm Vast.
I'm Turtle, and this is Breach and Clear the Air.
This is shit talking our teammates.
Friends.
I think that's pretty obvious. He doesn't like dying to a lot of stuff, and he generally shows that in his temper.
He doesn't mind a bit of a what the f was that moment.
Worthy will probably die to something he deems kind of an idiot play, and he'll generally yell about how stupid that play was or that player was. Oh, okay. You go first.
I love how, don't get me wrong, he's other coach and analyst, but a bit too corny for my liking sometimes.
I chose God Legion because some of his jokes just don't really make sense and no one really laughs at him, to be honest, so. Well, actually, I was gonna write Turtle, but I thought about it and his jokes are a bit more awkward than bad, so.
Okay then.
Who's got the weirdest habit? It's gotta be someone.
I know my answer.
I know.
Nah.
Oh, yes.
No. Nah, god damn it.
A lot of my teammates, we take the piss out of Pat. A habit of his, when he finishes a sentence, his voice generally will go a lot higher pitch. Any examples that you could offer?
I don't know about that one.
I don't know about that one.
Can I change my answer?
You were.
He's not wrong. Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I kind of got him there. I was so glad that I thought of that.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Ooh.
Oh,
Oi.
thanks, mate.
Yeah, I was gonna put myself in.
I picked digital. He rocks the slides and socks combos. He doesn't mind the trackies here and there. I don't know. The man's always looking like $1 million with that chief salary. So yeah.
I picked old mate here because I don't know, just can pull off anything. Just chucks it on in the morning. And it doesn't matter what it is, but you pull it off.
Yeah, you're too kind, Pat.
Yeah.
You're too kind, mate. Pretty obvious, Pat's, he was a lifeguard, so he's got experience saving people's lives. Yeah, I don't know, my other teammates, I don't really trust them with my life. Physically, I don't think they're capable of doing that. Why'd you put yourself?
Because I'm the best,
Because I'm the best. See, I don't even know what people eat, except I'm just...
Can we do somebody's drink?
Someone's drink. I picked God Legion because he is English for one. They have pretty weird food combinations, and also he calls French toast eggy bread, which is an injustice. So I think he's a weirdo just for those reasons.
I chose Rain Digital because of not his food choice, but his drink choice. When he uses pre-workout or like energy mixes, he chucks it with sparkling water, which I don't really get, but hey, to each their own.
I know. Oh, that's pretty mean. Oh, geez, this one's got me. I actually have no clue.
Copying off my answers, typical.
Yeah, I'm gonna trust your instincts here.
Yeah. I rate him, but I feel like he would make an inappropriate joke to my parents straight off the bat, just after meeting them. So for that, I'm gonna have to, keep him away from them.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think he'd be like really awkward and just making like anime noises or something. Oh my god, man. That was a bit of improv.
Jeez.
I'm genius.
Anime noises.
I'm very happy that Pat didn't put me down on any of them.
Yeah, give you best dress.
I'm flawless. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
best
But you
dress.
didn't put me down on any bad ones. So.
Yeah. Feel like I'm gonna have a few angry messages from teammates now, but hey, we'll see how it goes.
Well, don't forget to fly high if you're a Rafflecopter fan off the back of their 8-6 victory over Order. They do fly high, out from 7th into 6th. They are still, though, 1 place out of the top 5 and a playoff position. But 3 play days to go. They can still make it happen. And, well, they play Rhythm next week, so a bit of a chance there. It's a bit of shade onto Rhythm. I feel bad there. Speaking of Rhythm, they're actually our team that's coming up right now against Team Bliss. It's a classic first versus last.
Yeah, the David and Goliath, the one-sided matchup, however you want to frame this one. Probably not expecting it to be very close, but you just never know down under.
Hashtag blissful or Rhythm dub. Well, let's go and have a look at the lineup for Rhythm. Look, this is a team that has had some decent moments in OCN so far. They took it up against Wildcard, went distant. 15 rounds. It was a 7-8 loss, but they still at least got an overtime point. They also did pretty well against Chiefs. They did lose that one, also 7-5. This is just a team that just can never quite get over that final hurdle. Probably the best way to put it, guys, where they just can't quite ever get those 3 points. It's always out of grasp.
Yeah, Rhythm already in a difficult situation heading into this matchup, but unfortunately for them as well, piling onto the pain is the fact that Drex is no longer playing for this roster, at least for the meanwhile, having to step down unexpectedly. So that is unfortunate there for Rhythm, meaning BB is stepping in. Now, I mean, spirits are looking high, so you can't argue about that. I don't know what they're singing, but Supremacist, quite a lively character, seems to be injecting some of that liveliness into the squad. And I think a bit of positivity will go a long way for this team.
They're very talented player as well, Supremacist, and there's some really good talent on that Rhythm roster. Let's go and look at their opponents, though. And speaking of talent, these guys are in first position for a reason. It is stacked with talent across the board, and it's hard to see them losing this one. They're clear favorites. They win it, guys. Suddenly they're on 12 points, and I think with 3 play days to go, that is probably top 5 secured.
Yeah, I'm sure we might even be getting to the stage now where a couple of other teams are, just scouting a little bit, saying, hey, these guys look pretty good. Maybe we could snatch a player or 2 for stage 3 or onwards if they are looking to make a roster change, because all of these players in their own right have been showing up. I mean, if we want to highlight anyone in particular, Jigsaw is probably the name that comes to mind first. One of the newer additions to this roster in 2021 has been playing really, really well. But I mean, outside of that, there's a couple of exciting characters. Oda probably one of the fan favorites. I know he gets a lot of love in the Twitch chat, but again, he can step up when required too.
Yeah, Rampix as well, Jigsaw, Oda, Shade, Todd. I mean, that's just literally the entire team.
All 5.
It is stacked with talent, as I said. And look, they have had an amazing start to Oceanic National Stage 2. They defeated Wildcard in the first week, 7-4. Then a 7-5 victory overnight. And that's when I think we all sort of perked up a bit and went, ooh, that's 6 points. That's a big dub against the Knights. And then they confidently took out LFO in Playday 3 as well. So, look, they're a team that's not even on the rise anymore. They've already risen, and a win here can help almost secure their chances of a very high placing come end of season. Let's go and have a look at the map, Vitos, though, and see which map we're heading to for this particular game. And it's Oregon. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, we've been pretty fortunate tonight. We've had a little bit of everything. Clubhouse, Cafe, and now Oregon.
Yeah, most importantly, we haven't had any consulate as well, which is a nice change of pace. Now, I'm just going to take a second to bring up the stats because, once again, I am ill-prepared, which is just completely disappointing from such amazing talent.
I'm not even going to feel for you.
Jokes aside, though, brought them up. Rhythm 2-4 is their win record. Bliss 1-1, so I mean, not the biggest depth of results to go off. Bliss haven't played it in quite a while. They took on Roffle in stage 1, and unfortunately Dev's spreadsheet once again broken, so I don't know the exact score for that one. Rhythm played it a couple of times as well in stage number 1. They took down LFO and also had a narrow loss to the Knights. So look, historically, if we look at those numbers, we can expect that this matchup could be close, but again, we can't look past the standings and the fact that it's first v last.
I can't allow you to throw shade at Dev's tracker because it's not broken. It's the fact that Oregon was the decider and they didn't go to that decider because
why is it showing up then?
I don't know why it shows up. Ask Dev. But regardless, I think we can go into this game. And enough of your nonsense. Let's head into Oregon for our third game of the day. Rhythm versus Bliss. David versus Goliath. 8th versus 1st. Maybe there's a twist in this tale when it's all said and done. Maybe Rhythm can find and feel the rhythm.
And it feels like heading into this matchup, at least for me personally, I'm still wanting to see Bliss truly prove themselves. And I know that that's a bit of a rough statement to make, considering that they are well and truly first heading into this Playday. But it's matches like these where you need to be able to go in and just get the job done. No messing around. Don't let it get close. And make sure you lock in all 3 points. It can be easy to head into these matches and be a little bit complacent and be like, yeah, it's rhythm, you know, Drex is out, whatever, easy win. But then it starts to slide away. So it's important, and I want to see it. Bliss go into this server and they are switched on from the very start and prove that this is first v last.
Yeah, and look, I think without harping on it too much, Bliss should be able to win this quite comfortably. But, and this is the big but, Rhythm, as we said before, have got a lot of talent. And despite the fact that they haven't been able to get wins, they're a team that's always able to push teams, right? And get to these sort of overtime positions where they, in stage 1, actually had a lot of overtime victories. So they're a team that can be a dark horse against the teams that are at the top end of the standings and take some points off them and be a bit of a nuisance. So Bliss have got to be careful, and the sign of a good side is being able to navigate these sort of teams like Rhythm and being able to push forward, get a comfortable win, and move on with your season. But for Rhythm here on Oregon, I honestly give them a decent chance here. And for Bliss, they've beaten some good teams. They're 3-0. Maybe they're riding a bit of a high, right? And maybe this is their chance to get caught off guard.
In terms of the bans though, Thatcher Flores taken off the board. Not too surprising here on Oregon. A lot of those difficult to attack minigames can be aided with the Thatcher and the floor res. So with those off the board, it does increase the difficulty curve a little bit on the side of the attack. Now in response, I mean, Kayed's pretty typical, but Goyo being taken off. Pretty smart there on the side of the defense. If you don't have Flores available, clearing those shields is going to be another obstacle that's quite difficult to navigate around. So I like that slight adaptation there in the ban phase if that wasn't pre-planned. But either way, I mean, across the board here, the ban's pretty expected, especially with Flores being so potent at the moment in his current form. 4 drones, incredibly powerful.
Community vote in favor of Team Bliss, 67% to 33%. A little closer than I would have thought. I would have probably put it more of a 70-30 sort of proposition, guys, but hey, close enough. Pretty good job, community. Make sure you follow R6 Esports OCE to vote, get involved, and also the meme contest. All of that's on there as well, so make sure you go and check out the Twitter for all of the details. As Team Bliss will be on the defense, Rhythm on the attack.
Attackers must locate and defuse.
I don't think I'm allowed to enter the meme contest, unfortunately. I have a couple of bangers that I could have tapped into. I mean, the caster Discord is very plentiful with a lot of meme content that unfortunately will never see the light of day. So that's a bit tragic, but oh well, such is life. A little bit of an aggressive early start to this round from Rhythm. Supremacist leading the charge. Now, Supremacist, of course, jumping back into this roster as of recent. And overall, I guess it is a bit of a fresh lineup for Rhythm, especially with BB jumping back on board for Drex. And yeah, maybe we have to adjust our expectations even more so according to this matchup. That said, sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes when a roster change is made, we see a breath of fresh air for rosters, and they come out of the gates really strong. So you just never know.
Supremacist is a very talented player as well. Had a really good stage 1 and caught our eye as an up-and-coming talented player. But yeah, look, it goes both ways. It's very easy to sit back and say, well, some more roster changes and some more issues for Rhythm, and it's another sort of rebuilding phase and a rebuilding stage. But as you said, sometimes that breath of fresh air, bit of a change-up, differences, can do wonders for a team. And if they can get a bit of confidence, they'll probably just play off adrenaline and confidence more than anything. And Team Bliss, though, are a team that in this first place position, are they going to be good enough to be able to deal with that if it does take place? Rat picks with the opening pick onto Supremacist, the man of the hour that we were speaking about. Inside a freezer. Up towards security. Oh, this play on the freezer stairs, but BB's up for the task on the Yana and gets the kill onto Rat picks, who was pushing aggressively forward.
Good response there. Great composure to win that gunfight. Now locks in the 4v4. Presence over towards backstairs from Leb on the Jackal. might be able to use his Inox scanner with 2 charges left a little bit later if they need to find a couple of pesky players hiding in towards site. That said, the Gemini can be used to scout ahead, as well as 7 drones. Leb will go immediately behind that first Gemini. Gets taken down though on the trade. Leaves it in a 3-on-3 with 35 left.
Yeah, but it's really opened up this basement site now. Team Bliss have only got the 3 players left, so they can't really cover all angles. Yeah, Rhythm obviously down to 3 themselves, but they can sort of pick and choose where they want to push in from. Ghoul and BB taking a bit of damage. I believe that's the gas babe from Todd that's doing the majority of that. Oda, nice pick on Novax. Now, that's going to be Pillock taken over by BB, and he's found another one. He's got 2 for the round. 2 versus 2, 14 seconds remaining on the clock as Oda and Todd well positioned and primed to finish off this round. Only Ghoul remains.
Being spotted, I believe, there's a bulletproof camera to the right, and Oda able to clean that up. A solid start for Bliss.
Yep. Considering you don't want to be losing too many defensive rounds on Oregon, especially down in basement early on. And Rhythm did well to throw a bit of a spanner in the works and bring that down to a 3 versus 3 and then a 2 versus 2 and open the site up a bit. So credit to Rhythm, but Team Bliss, even more credit to them for being able to sort of stick fat and hold their structures. Pretty sound defensively. A good little start here. They now head over to kitchen dining. Interesting.
Yeah, bit spicy, bit aggressive here from Bliss, but hey, why not? Save second floor for later, because that's what we like to see.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
In terms of
attackers.
defensive operators, though, nothing standing out as being too wild. I mean, Bandit's seeing some play here from Oda, an operator that hasn't really been overly popular in the competitive scene. When you have the likes, I guess, of Haid and Mute available, he doesn't see as much play, but Haid, of course, is banned in this head-to-head, which opens up that opportunity for Oda to stick the Blitz. Not the Blitz, the Bandit. They're both the same yellow logo color.
Yeah,
I'll
go with that one. That's close enough.
And I mean, he can place those batteries, of course, inside
that
of
gridlock?
showers. And
5 seconds left before insertion.
it's not funny.
I'll take that one back. Either way. Yeah, look, I get what you're trying to say. We don't really see the Bandit too often, and we'll see. It makes it intriguing to watch. We also don't really see kitchen dining too often either, right? Usually it's meeting and kitchen. Oh, Todd! Disgusting. Novax doesn't even get a foot in on the ace, and, well, he's taken off the board. Ghoul's going to have to do the heavy lifting to open up the sites now. That's going to make things even easier for Oda and the Bandit.
Oh, yeah, that is a devastating start. Of all the players that could have died first, Novax is probably the worst, and Ghoul a very close second. So, an unfortunate start here for Rhythm, and could prove very, very costly. Now, still a long way to go in this round, and Rhythm could begin to mount a recovery, but nonetheless, it will be tricky. Decent control established, though, over towards the northern side of the map. Rhythm committing to a top-down take, and that's probably the play. If they can find a couple of players off guard and do it in a time-efficient manner, it could well be the start of this comeback. That said, the aggression from Bliss in response, quite potent, and not giving this real estate up for free.
The hunt is near.
With the Inox scanner being able to just be a bit of a nuisance and track one out. Shade, got to be very careful. Supremacist wins that one, and suddenly 4 versus 4. Minute and a half remaining, and Rhythm have done well to sort of adjust here off the back of losing the Vax immediately and have to reposition and change their approach as to how they're going to play this one. Epic's over towards Kids. Oh, he swings out. Nice headshot onto Supremacist, though. Well, if Repix is feeling it, and if he's going to be hitting shots like that, it's going to be a tough night for Rhythm. Leb is half health as well. He doesn't want to get in too much of an engagement. Repix peeks out again. He takes out BB. And he gets a third one as well. Just don't push this man unless you're Ghoul. He finally shuts him down after a triple kill. For a second, I thought he was going to get a quad and just stamp the mental of Rhythm and put it in the bin, but Ghoul at least salvages it, makes it 1 versus 3. Todd knows where he is. And Team Bliss, after a good start here on Oregon, 2-0.
Not really too much to say there about that round, but yeah, disappointing start there for Rhythm, of course. That team kill onto Novax, less than ideal. Quick replay of that. See his feed. no, Vegas might want to watch that one back, and from there, I mean, the rest of the attack just capitulated. Repix up above, looking sharp, and so far, Team Bliss definitely playing like a top team.
Yeah, no real mistakes right now from Team Bliss. They're playing this really clean,
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
and they're almost
defused by
also
attackers.
punishing the mistakes of Rhythm. Rhythm aren't making too many mistakes there. I mean, like, if you're Novax there, what do you really even do? Right? Like, there's nothing you can do. It's just unfortunate. You're the one that gets caught there. We head up to kids' dorms, and we obviously have spoken about this one at length many times over the last year or so, and its importance, but ultimately for the way that Bliss are playing, I feel like it's maybe more important for Rhythm than anything, right? Because if Rhythm don't win this, suddenly Bliss have done the World Tour. It is obviously defense Oregon, so you can't get too excited, even if you are a Bliss fan. But while I wouldn't even put this one in must-win territory, it starts to get towards that, like we're edging towards that, guys. Rhythm need to get on the board, and this is a good opportunity for them to do so.
Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
Second floor of the site. Bliss leaning pretty heavily into projectile denial as well as a bit of information denial as well. They have that alibi set up on double window to make it tricky to get lines of sight and get drones in without getting spotted. And in combination with the Sawyer gates from Repix and the ADS devices from Todd, clearing util will be tricky. Missed drone there to kick things off for Rhythm, who starting off a little bit shaky, but again, understandably so. Drex,
Attackers have located
unfortunately, as of recent, no longer able to play for the roster, and outside of that, it has been another rough stage for Rhythm, and that is a rough start to the round for BB. Jigsaw hits the Nitro Cell to kick things off, and Team Bliss off to another good start in round 3.
In fairness to Rhythm, though, when we look back to round 2, they lost the Vex extremely early on, but they adjusted well. They were able to bring it back to a 4 versus 4, and they've done it again here. Thank you, Leb, proving my point I was about to make, that I'm now going to finalize that they can still get back into this one, and they have done that. And there's a lot of time on the clock here as well, and honestly, losing BB, not really all that bad to lose the Yana. You've still got your ace available, you still got your Habana available, and there's a minute and a half left. Things are fine for Rhythm.
Plenty of util still to work with here for the attack. The Gainesville, though, unfortunately, has been butchered a little bit. That's not a clean point of entry. I don't believe it will be vaultable. No, I'm almost certain it won't be based on that angle, so that does increase the difficulty here for for Rhythm, rather. Team Bliss won't be complaining whatsoever. They can, of course, hold the cross with the line of sight if someone can get in towards that Bricks plant. But so many lines of sight are honed in on that location. Repix drop school. The player has, in fact, made it deep. That's Leb over towards the pit door. Novax elsewhere, though, does get dropped. It was Novax, rather, in that position. Ooh. Who will falter 2v4.
And Jigsaw taking out Novax, and that, gives them a pretty substantial little lead here for Team Bliss in this third round. Not much time either. There's 3 for the round now. Jigsaw. Such a talented player. The Premises, though, equally as talented. Does get the elimination onto Repix, but they know his position over towards White Stairs, and it just feels like it's a matter of seconds until they eventually corral him and shut him down. They don't actually really have to do anything because of the time, but Jigsaw finishes off the round with a quad kill. And for Team Bliss, they have done the World Tour, guys. They're going all around Oregon, and they're gone 3 for 3.
And the question we did, or at least I posed heading into this matchup right at the very start, is what kind of Bliss are we going to see from the first round? Are they going to be a little bit slow and sluggish and expecting the win to be handed to them, or will they come out of the gate strong and just get the job done? So far, it has well and truly been the latter. All 3 of these rounds have been pretty dominant. They're not giving Rhythm an in. They're dominant at the start of the round. They're trading out in the late round. I mean, if there even is a late round, which to be honest, there really hasn't been for the most part, as Rhythm are struggling to set up for executes. And yeah, it's been essentially flawless for Bliss so far. I mean, not literally flawless, but close enough. They're mounting rounds on the board. They're not really being contested at the moment, and they just need to keep that foot down.
But the other thing that we've got to remind everyone, of course, and I know we've already said it, but this is very defender-sided, right, here in Oregon, and at least here for OCN, it has been 63% defensive win rate for these teams. So for Team Bliss, it is that argument where it's like that 2-4 sort of half is almost par for the course. That's the almost expectation. Now, the good news for Team Bliss fans is they've already got 3 of those 4 rounds anyway. So if they can go on and make it, say, a 5-1 half, well, then they're laughing. And Team Bliss as a team is talented enough to be able to just, close out and get those final 2 attacking rounds. So it's about setting themselves up for what will be eventually their attacking half. For Rhythm, though, it's the opposite. It's about just setting themselves up where they can get those 2 attacking rounds to set them up for a potential 4-2 defensive half and send it to OT. That's probably the position that they will find themselves in. We head back down to the basement. Obviously, for the first time since the opening round, which was a little bit chaotic, right? It was that 3v3, sort of 30 seconds left mentality there, and Rhythm had an opportunity, but Bliss held out really strongly in their defensive positions.
Positive signs in the early rounds here for Rhythm trying to gain control, but confidence is one thing, execution another, and Jigsaw finds an easy kill at the kitchen hallway to kick things off, as well as a drone, leaving only 7 left for Rhythm with 2:10 on the clock. That's unfortunate for Rhythm, but again, Team Bliss capitalizing on these mistakes.
And I don't even think I don't know if you touched on it, if I probably wasn't even listening to you, but the Warden for Shade.
Thanks.
Did you touch on it?
Don't you listen to me when I talk?
Not really, no.
Jeez. I didn't mention the Warden though, so I mean, go ahead, give your analysis.
I don't have any analysis on it, but I would imagine it's to expect maybe some sort of an aggressive push from Rhythm and those flashes and smokes, etc. So
yeah. I mean,
it's not bad, obviously, on the basement site. A lot of the times they'll drop down that meeting hatch last second and try and smoke things up and flashes. So I do see, I do see something to it.
Yeah. Smoke things up with the smoke grenades, of course. Warden the perfect counter to that. That said, though, Rhythm trying to mount a mini comeback of sorts in this round off the back of Supremacist falling early. Leb, alongside that Gemini, able to get control of bottom freezer stairs. That said, there's a mirror window facing this location as well as a player behind that metal box. That said, Repix cleared with a grenade. That's big from Rhythm, but these mirror windows are going to be super tough to deal with.
Oh, Jigsaw with a double again. Going massive right now for Team Bliss. Advantage Bliss again, 4 versus 3. Shade though, well, there goes the Warden. Oda there fortunately for the refrag. Jigsaw knows there's a player inside a freezer. Ooh, a little bit iffy there with the aim, but he gets him in the end. That's BB eliminated. Only Ghoul remains once again. He gets the headshot onto Jigsaw, but only 20 seconds left in a 1 versus 2.
Potentially winnable. Oda low on HP. That first of the Black Mirrors has been cleared, and Ghoul does have the kit to play off if he can get it to a 1v1. So I wouldn't rule him out completely, but no doubt this will be tough.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, I would probably ascertain that this is impossible for Ghoul. Todd will finish him off, put him out of his misery. 4-0 right now from Team Bliss, and I would be getting close to almost tactical timeout territory if I was Rhythm. Because Bliss are honestly playing pretty comfortable right now. I don't think that they would have had to break a sweat.
Yeah, they're in cruise control, honestly. And I say that, of course, with the most respect
Repix looks
possible
bored
to Rhythm, but yeah, this is, I mean, it's the expected result. It's first v last, Rhythm going through their own struggles, unfortunately for them, and Bliss riding a bit of a high at the moment. So I don't really see why this momentum should slow. Sure, when we enter the second half, we might see Rhythm mount a couple of rounds, but I think that armor is going to crack eventually, and Bliss,
yeah,
I very doubtful that this is not going to be a regulation win. I mean, if it's anything less than that, I'm going to sound stupid, but after saying that, but I mean, I just don't see it happening.
Tactical timeout for Rhythm, so I was kind of on the money there in getting that call out. Unfortunately for Rhythm, it's just a really rough go of things. Starting on the attack as well on Oregon against Bliss, it's not ideal. This is the problem though, is that, okay, when you kind of go into these first 6 rounds, the goal is to get 2. But they've gone through the first 4 and they've been unsuccessful. Now you almost have to get 2 in a row, which off the back of what we've seen in the last 4 rounds almost seems impossible. because Bliss have just been playing out of this world. So this is the best time to take that tactical timeout, get one back here in round 5, and then fight tooth and nail in the 6th round to try and make it 2-4. That's the goal here for Rhythm. If they can achieve that, suddenly then what you were saying, guys, doesn't really matter anymore, because then Rhythm will go over to the defense.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
Oh,
bombs.
back down to kitchen we go. Now this was the round where Todd got the spawn kill, right? Remember?
Yes.
Either way though, my point being that we didn't
Bomb located by
really
attackers.
get to see much of this Bliss setup actually have a huge impact, particularly Showers didn't see a whole lot of play. A lot of it was really up above. We saw Repix pop off. And it didn't really come down to utility. A lot of it was just gunplay confidence. So maybe we'll see a change of pace here. Rhythm could approach from the western side over towards small tower and I guess give up a little bit more on this top-down take, or applying as much pressure from the other side towards the east and meeting. But I mean, I have to just wait and see exactly where they spawn in, decide to approach from. The defense though, pretty similar lineup, and yeah, here we go. Western spawn Rhythm, and small tower will probably be the play.
No bandit this time either for Team Bliss, and for Nevaix, probably not going to try and walk through the front door. So obviously, this is the thing, there's always those change-ups for a team that does the World Tour and gets 3 from 3. And when you go back around, the team that lost is obviously going to make some alterations. They're going to switch things up, change things up a little bit. All over towards the yellow bus, and yeah, this is going to be a pretty slow approach, right? Because they're just going to be wanting to take control of the small tower and eventually edge their way over towards dining.
Supremacist just holding the angle. Rhythm wary of an aggressive swing here from Bliss. That said, they look to take control of Showers. At least BB sends in a Gemini. Burns a Sawyer Gate, I believe, as well. Now, Novaix knows that the wall is muted. That is something that the attack needs to deal with. Ghoul could clear it with the torch. That said, they're just going to go straight in towards Showers. Novaix gets the first. Shade does trade it back, though. Rhythm not in a bad position. It's a 4v4 and they have some control.
Repix getting the elimination there onto Supremacist, and this is again just advantage Bliss everywhere. Ghoul though with a big kill onto Rapix and Shade is down, so Jigsaw and Todd suddenly in a 2 versus 2. Never mind, they get the revive onto Shade. They will hold their advantage. A lot of time though for Leb and Ghoul to figure out what they need to do here.
Jigsaw reclaiming control. Showers. Now exposed, the holes made by Ghoul, needs to be careful, but at the same time could capitalize and confirm the round basically for Bliss. If he wins the fight, it'll be a 3v1 in their favor. It is neutralized, however, as Ghoul will relocate. Cooks a grenade to take down the bulletproof camera. I believe both of these attackers now spotted. Bliss is ready and waiting for both of these players to push through.
It's a big round. Bliss with this. Down to a 5-0 start, and then it's Shade who starts off this little engagement. Ghoul, maybe he's the one to finish it though. But still has Jigsaw and Todd to deal with. Inside of Dining does have the kit, but he doesn't have much time. Takes out one of the ADSs, why not? But he needs to take out one of these players, 2 of these players really in the end. And the pressure mounting inside of security. The shots don't really land at all. And Jigsaw will finish the job. 5-0 for Team Bliss here on Oregon. One more round to go in the half.
7-0? Question mark? Hello? Is that you, Rhythm? Have you just completely disappeared? That Ox?
Sorry, what? What? I wasn't listening to you again.
I just said 7-0 question mark.
I mean, I don't know. 7-0?
Yeah, I think so. Not to,
Look,
not to be toxic, but this is genuinely just being dominant from Bliss.
I'm never going to say, especially on Oregon, defense, ever after Stage 1 APAC South, 7th Heaven, come back.
True.
Never, ever going to say a team can't come back. I think It's a tough one. It's a tough one because Rhythm have been in a position, I think, a couple of times where they were kind of close, but not really even all that close to stealing a round. Like, it's been pretty convincing in almost all 5 of these rounds. There's been moments where, 3v3 or 2v2 or 1v2 with 30 seconds left. They've had those sort of moments, but that's not really good enough. They haven't really been in a position where, they get the first 2-3 kills of a round. Like, they're never up 5 versus 3. Bliss's defense has just been stalwart. Like, they've been so impressive here on Oregon. And yeah, obviously, now you kind of expect them to get this 6-1, make it 6-0, but then Rhythm go on the defense themselves. And that's where they've got to show us that this is just going to be a defensive-sided Oregon. But it's kind of hard to play devil's advocate here and be the nice guy. It's just been rough to watch.
Jigsaw down below. Might be able to be a little bit cheeky here, and with the Nitro Cell in hand, could also establish something from below.
How have they
lost
lost
from multiple angles, but he doesn't take a single bullet from any of those angles. In fact, Jigsaw is going to stick around with the MP5 in hand, and being as aggressive and as confident as this may well net him a kill. At the very least, though, he is finding drones. Oh, that's cheeky.
What?
From
They've got
Bliss.
4 left. Look how many they've got left, Guz. There's 2 minutes on the clock. They've got 4 drones with 2 minutes to go.
And not only is it their drone economy, but they've already lost 2 Selmas. They were just thrown on the wall. Oda takes them down with the Evil Eye, and there's also an ADS device there to cover that from being taken down easily. So on every metric, this has been a pretty devastating start for Rhythm. And Bliss, I mean, they just need to close it out.
And once again, they're the ones that have the advantage. They're the ones up 5-4. They're getting these opening picks. They're putting the pressure on Rhythm. It was down to 3 drones remaining. A minute and a half. There's that sort of eye of the storm moment here where things just cool down, but that's not ideal for Rhythm. They need to find their rhythm because it's just non-existent right now. And Todd
20.
and Bliss are just running around doing as they please.
Yeah, may as well. Ghoul smacks the bulletproof.
Oh, he's
course,
pinged.
on North Star, you can smack the cams, and they will no longer give a clear image. Todd being tracked here by the Jackal, but no one really there to cut him off. I mean, Ghoul is ready and waiting, but not aggressing at this point in time, waiting for a teammate, I presume, to come alongside and assist, or at the very least, trade it out. And this is a player that needs to be cleared. It makes the double window very difficult to jump in. Lebs, I guess, goes around the corner, sees that the wall has been reinforced. Ghoul cuts off Jigsaw as he tries to rotate back down. Repix does drop Leb down below. That doesn't get traded as pressure's being applied elsewhere. And now Novakes is in the 1-on-4.
You can't make it happen, Team Bliss. 6-zip.
Yes, thank you, Xenox. Captain Obvious, it is in fact 6-0 Bliss. Thank you, Xenox, the robot caster, for your insight. We appreciate it. But yeah, it's been devastating for Rhythm, and Bliss are looking to close it out flawlessly.
Yes, thank you very much for that, guys. They are looking to do that. That's their objective here, to close it out flawlessly. 6 match points for what has just been, I mean, it's been a rough one. And honestly, it almost feels like for Rhythm, it's undone some of the good work that they had put in over the last couple of weeks in OCN where, they went 5-7 against Chiefs. They had a good game there. We had that 15-round banger against Wildcard in Playday 2. They dropped to that one, but it was close. And honestly, they maybe should have even walked away with that win. And a 7-2 loss against Knights was not pretty, was not ideal, but hey, you're going up against Knights in week 1. That's kind of almost expected. And this has maybe undone some of the work that they did in Playday 2 and Playday 3. And look, yeah, they've had some roster changes, but there's a lot of talent on this roster. It's just a matter of time to gel together and just get more games under their belt. And eventually they will be the ones that can start to fight back. It's just not going to be now. And credit to Team Bliss. They've been perfect. And this is what a contender will do, guys. They will suffocate their opponents. They will be so much better than them that they don't have any sort of lapses and slip-ups. And they've proven that.
No, Vakes gets thrown down. Oh, but he hits the shot.
No
Rapix,
way.
sit down. Wow, what a kill there from those Vakes. It is traded, though, from Bliss. Shade to find that one, but... I mean, there are inklings of brilliance here from Rhythm as Leb finds another swing.
It's better from Rhythm, at least, being aggressive, and for what feels like, I think, the first time in this match, they've got some sort of an advantage at 4 versus 3. And Nomad off the board, so is the Yana, but that shouldn't be too horrible for Bliss, and still has 1 minute and 50 seconds on the clock. Oh, Todd just gets caught. Oh, the return fire, though. Supremacist, that's unfortunate. Oh, that is not ideal, and it gives Bliss sort of an entryway in here. 3 versus 3, and they're just sending it down Laundry Stairs. Led, though, got the kill onto Todd, but as they push through, Oda and Jigsaw will get the kill onto BB. Oh. Nice swing from Ghoul, though, from Freezer. Oda, and a 1 versus 2. Match point. Can he live and stand up to the moment here that has presented itself? Ghoul and Leb, the 2 for Rhythm. Oda, the peak. He lands a tag on a Ghoul, but Ghoul is the one that lands the lethal tag. And Rhythm are on the board.
Well, there you go. That's the secret to success. Just go for a couple wild swings and the round is yours.
The comeback!
Yeah, that was an interesting round of Rainbow Six Siege, that's all I'll say. But props to Rhythm, you know, not going down without a fight, not falling flat on their face. And decent little fight.
They've avoided the 7-zip, they've avoided the donut. That's a nice kill there, by the way. Absolutely top notch. And look, honestly, for a moment, I thought Team Bliss were going to be able to bring this one back and come away with the win. Oda, obviously a tricky position there in a 1 versus 2, the back end of that round. But a good round win for Rhythm, and hey, look, you know, it starts with 1, right? It starts with 1. You get 1, and then you build off that. Then it's 2, then it's 3, then suddenly it's 6-4, and Bliss are taking a tactical timeout. That's how it begins, and that's how we get to that
I love
position.
your optimism. I respect it.
I don't think it's going to happen, but that's usually how it does go. They're just going to believe, guys. It's as easy as that.
Yeah. True. I'm not sure how much belief can carry you back from an 0-6 deficit, but hey, anything that works. And we did see some positive signs in that last round from Rhythm. Would have been easy, I guess, to just turtle in on that round and just going, yeah, lads, let's just, you know, sit back and let them do what they wish. But instead, they got aggressive, got in the face of their opponents, and it was a little bit risky. But in the end, hey, it worked, so can't complain too much. Will they be as aggressive in this round? Not too sure. BB is setting up for, I believe, a jump out. Armory window. He did sit on the default camera, just waiting for the timer to dissipate a little bit. Had he have jumped out then, probably would have found a kill, but he doesn't. And no one is wiser to that decision. No one from Bliss really would have known that was coming, but also don't know that he has now run away. They'll need to drone ahead, make sure that Armory and Bedroom are clear, and then they can begin to work that game's war.
Nice to see Rapix supporting the Knights.
Yeah.
Support the local lads.
And we'll get a Bliss skin one day.
Oh, nice shot. That's a big kill. Ghoul has been the standout for Rhythm. Taking him off the board. I mean, it's kind of the Jaeger, though, but also the player. And Bliss do have the advantage, as they have had just about every round has played out.
BB, he might be the next one to step up. Trying to go for a flank, sees a couple of feet through the rotation above with the line of sight established up above. The Nitro Cell doesn't find its mark as Bliss open up the game's wall. No Vakes, however, does drop Todd. That's one of the hard breaches taken off the board, so a big pick there. Not sure it's quite enough to see Rhythm win this round, but at the moment, the feeling is pretty mutual.
Yeah, and Bliss down to 2 drones that they can actively use as well. I mean, 3 technically, but Minute and 10 seconds left on the clock, and it's not looking good here for Bliss as Rhythm are starting to find their rhythm. Novakes with 2 for the round. And they now gain the lead in the ascendancy instead of players alive. Novakes is hitting all of his shots at the moment. And Oda Repix to try and salvage this, but I think the damage is maybe too great in this round. 6-2 could be brewing.
Huge work from the mirror, and maybe Nova 9's job is not over just yet. Narrowly avoids finding another pick as they try and go deep for plant. That's Bliss, of course, but it has been dropped. Leb from Pit finds that cross, and BB will close it out for Rhythm. And I mean, their spirits are looking high. Their spirits are looking high.
Hashtag feel the rhythm. Yeah, look, this is the beautiful thing of playing with house money, right? Like, if you're down 6-0, how much worse can it get? I mean, technically you can get 7-0, but that can no longer happen. 6-2 now, and look, I'm just saying, guys, you know, it starts with 1, then you get that second one, suddenly you get that third one, and the confidence starts to rise, and Team Bliss are starting to sweat a little bit, you know? Just saying. This is a big round. Going to kitchen meeting, and suddenly, if Rhythm do win this, they've done the World Tour themselves, right? This is defense Oregon. This is why you don't count them out.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
Even if it's 6-0, yes, it's not ideal, but if it's ever going to happen, it is here, in this situation, with Rhythm on the defense.
I like this from Rhythm. BB sticking the Oryx. So we might see some interesting gameplay from him, and in fact there are quite a few hatches in and around the objective. You have one lobby, one meeting up above, addict, kids. I mean, I could just rattle them off for days. There's also one inside of security, and that allows for him to do a lot of work around the map, move around really quickly, and I guess hard counter the Nomad from Shade, because he doesn't necessarily need to go through the common passageways like the staircases as the attack would expect. So we'll keep an eye on him in this round. That said, can't all be reliant on BB to have a big impact, and it does take away from some of the potential utility that the defense can muster. So question will be, how does Bliss deal with that obstacle?
And it's also where Bliss don't really want to end up in a position where they get inside of their own heads. If this continues on, you know, it's demoralizing for the team that was up 6-0. If it does get to that sort of 6-4 margin, right, you start to doubt yourselves a little bit, and it would be normal to let those bad thoughts creep into the minds of the players, but that's where they've got to now have their mental fortitude tested here. Okay, you've done the job that you had to do on your defensive half. Now finish off that job. And once again, like the previous round, they find that opening pick. They weren't able to capitalize last time, though. Maybe this will be their shining moment.
Well, I hyped up BB. Some would say Caster cursed him as Ghoul now on the brink of death at the top of Big Tower. This is a key position to try and hold and apply pressure from around the objective, but he is so close to dying. A single bullet to the foot would be enough to finish him off. Now, Novakes has come across to provide some assistance, but surely it's only a matter of time until Ghoul is dropped.
I think those final bullets were there to just double check if he got downed by, or what was it, the nade, the nitro cell. I didn't even quite catch it, but you get what I mean, the nade.
The nitro cell from his teammate.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised the way this game's going.
Yeah, the way this is going.
Either way, yeah, that's why I think those bullets did come through to see if the nade did, in fact, down him. Obviously didn't. And as you said, though, one bullet would be enough. And this is now where you start to think, you know, has Ghoul been able to sort of just navigate them here by not even moving and giving much of his position away? And that Team Bliss have now just sort of given up on this position. They move over towards the site. Lab's going to go down to Jigsaw, and all of a sudden Bliss find themselves with a decent advantage, 4 versus 2. And the very low health Ghoul comes out of his bunker and needs to make something happen here. He's got Novakes to his side. Feels like timing is going to be everything here as they start to push back over towards the sites.
Well, both these players completely isolated. Bliss have site control, and it's over.
Cool. All right, well, we kind of thought this would happen at some stage. Surprise, surprise, it's Team Bliss with a 7-2 victory. They gave us a little bit to question there in the last 2 rounds, but it's all for the entertainment. They are by far and away looking like the best team in OCN right now because they are 4-0. in the first 4 playdays, all 12 points in their back pockets. There's not too many teams that are close to catching them. The only 2 teams are about to play after this game, so that spices things up. But a big win against Rhythm, who couldn't quite find their own rhythm.
Yeah, Bliss undoubtedly the top of OCE as we currently stand, and they put on another clinic. I mean, sure, there are a couple of rounds there that didn't quite go their way, but on the balance of everything, completely dominant in favor of Bliss. They are proving why they are at the top of the standings, and again, it is really unfortunate for Rhythm. There are some mitigating factors as to why they weren't at their best tonight, but nonetheless, it will be pretty disappointing for them.
Yeah, certainly so. I think it's disappointing anytime that a team gets comprehensively beaten like that. They've been in this position before. Playday 1, 7-2 lost to Knights. And for Bliss, it's, well, the way that they're playing, they're a team that has earned the respect to be sort of put in that caliber of team, you know, at the top. They're confidently there. They're 4-0. They've beaten good teams. And so that's just another tough opponent there for Rhythm. I've actually looked ahead at Rhythm's sort of schedule here. They play Roffle, they play Order, and then they play LFO. I'm going to arguably say I think that's actually a pretty decent little run home for them. So if they're going to find points, it's probably going to be in those 3 playdays. They've had a very tough first 4 playdays, but that's the nature of OCN, right? Like, the games are always going to be tough when you're the team that's in last place. That's just the nature of it. But Team Bliss were incredible to watch in this game and continue to stamp themselves as arguably now, I think you can almost say the favorites to be OCN champions for Stage 2.
Ooh, okay.
They're 4-0. They've earned it.
Yeah, I mean...
And Jigsaw is nuts.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to mention as the stats pop up. 14-5, and this isn't just a one-off. Jigsaw, particularly in Stage 2, has just been a dominant force. He is a serious threat in OCN. I pray that Bliss can keep him on the squad, because as I sort of mentioned earlier, I have no doubt that there are some prying eyes. If there's any other roster in the region that needs a new fragger, my word, I think Jigsaw would be at the top of the most wanted list for a lot of those teams. So look, I wish Bliss all the rest on holding on to him, because as I mentioned, he has just been incredible.
Yeah, and I think for Jigsaw as well, there's probably no reason to look elsewhere right now because of the way that they're playing. So that's really, I guess, the goal of this roster, this organization. And honestly, yes, we give Jigsaw praise, but you can say the same stuff about Oda, Todd, Repix, Shade, all of them. As a team, they are singing along a beautiful harmony. So yeah, it's easy to sit back and say, oh, you know, Jigsaw, you know, fragging out, someone's going to pick him up. Well, he's on a team. He doesn't need to get picked up. And they are, as I said, they are the top team. They are #1. They're 12 points to the good. No other team is capable of matching them, provided they keep getting 3 points. No team can mathematically catch them. So it's really on Bliss more than anything to now close out the final 3 playdays. And you know, you look ahead, they've got the inconsistent Order. That's a very winnable game. Rafflecopter, you know, a bit up and down like a helicopter should be. And then Chiefs. What a banging game that could be for Playday 7.
Yeah, and it really feels like all of those matches could be wins, and we don't really have a reason to doubt Bliss's abilities. They are proving week in, week out that they are such a strong force, and I feel like I've been one of their harshest critics and always been a little bit skeptical of their ability to show up, but I mean, they just continue to prove that they are consistent despite the best of 1 format, which seems to be faltering a lot of the other teams and aren't able to, I guess, reproduce their highs week in, week out. Bliss are just on the other end of the scale. They continue to show up, and you cannot underestimate them at all, not only for the rest of the regular season, but with no doubt them being close to, or I guess officially maybe at this point, qualifying in the top 5. I mean, that gauntlet is going to be really scary if you're facing them.
Yeah, I think top 5 is probably a lock, guys. I don't think you have to worry about that one. Let's go and have a chat with one of our favorites. It is Oda, off the back of what is their 4th win in a row, mate. Congratulations. 12 points. You made it look easy, well, except for maybe the last 2 rounds or so, where some funny moments there. But congratulations. How's the team feeling off the back of what's been an amazing season so far?
The team's actually feeling really good. Like, our confidence is through the roof, and just like, I don't know, we're just gunning, just feeling really good. Like, I don't know, it's just the best feeling at the moment, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to ask maybe a little bit more of a negative question in a sense here, but are there things that you and the team are still looking to work upon? Because, I mean, no team's perfect, right? And you're going to be making mistakes. That's inevitable. Otherwise, you'd be winning every game 7-0. So are there any areas of maybe your game in particular, or the teams that you are still looking to try and continue to improve?
Look, there's always room for improvement. I think at the moment we're at a good stage where, I don't know, everything's just really going well for us at the moment. But there's like, I guess like refrags and some stuff like that is what we have to work on. But other than that, everything's going really well at the moment. I don't know.
You guys, I had a look at your schedule and I brought it up on the stream. You got Order coming up, then Rothwell, and then Chiefs. Obviously, some pretty good matches to come before what will eventually be a good playoff run maybe for you guys. You mentioned the fact that you guys are obviously playing pretty well at the moment and you've got that sort of adrenaline and confidence. Have you ever thought about maybe sitting down as a team and being like, okay, what happens when maybe this little streak does come to an end and maybe we have to go back to the drawing board for a game or two? Or is it just ride the high for as long as possible?
Just ride at the moment, eh? I feel like if you're just riding it and you're confident, like, you're just going to keep winning. And then obviously when you come to that loss, it's just sit down, have a talk, and, you know, just take it. It's one loss. Let's just fix what happened, and then we just keep going.
Yeah, I guess leading on from that question, what's the goal from here? Are you guys going to put all your efforts into at all costs locking in the first place? Is that the ultimate goal that you guys will be going for? Of course, keeping in mind, if you finish first, I mean, you're straight into the grand final, so it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I feel like that's the goal. Keeping that first spot and get guaranteed grand final is just definitely what we're working on right now. And then obviously to smash that grand final.
Yeah, definitely so. Well, you guys are shaping up to be the firm favourites at the moment. The way that you guys are playing, it's been a bliss to watch. Thank you very much for coming on and having a chat, mate. Best of luck next week. And honestly, the way you're going, I'm sure we'll have another chat next week.
Yeah, we will. Thanks to the cast.
Oda and the boys are happily 4-0 here for OCN Stage 2, guys. They're looking unstoppable. Big games to come. Order next week, of course. An Order team looking to bounce back off their earlier loss to Rothwell. You know, what's the go for Bliss? Sky's the limit, or are they going to eventually come crashing down? Maybe when it matters the most, come playoff time. Who knows? I mean, this is... Oh,
I mean, if they keep riding this high and their confidence remains where it is, and I mean, going off Oda's word, it seems like it's at a really good point. And I mean, it's one thing to have confidence, it's another to be actually producing results inside the server. But at the moment, they are doing both, and looking ahead at the rest of the stage for them, it's difficult to pencil in losses. I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't it be? They're undefeated at the moment. The ultimate question then from that would be how much of a serious threat are they in the playoffs? And I guess it's a discussion that will be developing over the next couple of weeks and through the gauntlet itself. But honestly, they have got to be one of the favorites, if not the favorite at the moment. Yeah. We don't really have any reason to doubt them. Now, of course, the gauntlet a long way ahead. That's best of 3, whole different story. But if that confidence and that performance remains at an all-time high, then I don't see any reason why the other teams should be able to take them down.
I probably at this stage would tip them for all of their 3 remaining games, which would then mean a 7-0 clean sweep of the regular season. Don't go anywhere though. Of course, we've got one more game today for Playday 4. It is the grand final rematch, Knights versus Chiefs.
Attackers drop the diffuser. Attackers bomb the diffuser. Bomb located by attackers.
Welcome to GTV ANZ, the gaming channel created by Ubisoft. Every Tuesday and Friday on YouTube, we'll be doing fast plays, game challenges, 1v1 face-offs, and so much more. You happy?
When did we get a dog?
It's a good question.